Hi there. Today we're going to go over the Rotator mod for the LFMTE script. And once you've installed or updated your Rotator mod, you will see a new button and it'll say Rotator. So you click on Main Settings, the first area, and it'll bring you to this page. The Live Daily Stats, if checked, the chart showing today's top sources will be updated in real time. So when your members click on rotators and they click on stats, their stats will be shown in real time here. Okay, abuse reports. If this box is checked, an email will be sent to the admin for a source ranks abuse report. So if a member had a site that had gotten an abuse report, say somebody just put in vulgar language or something, you would be notified. You'd be sent an email as long as you leave this box checked. Show Help Tutorials tab. This means that the button on the Rotator menu for the members page will show up if you have this checked. So it's right here, and I highly recommend that you leave that checked because I think it's going to be a very helpful resource for your members. When they click on this, there are 6 videos that are setting up a tracker, a rotator, conversion tracking, daily stats, tracking stats, and source ranks. These videos are done very nicely, and they're very helpful for your members to be able to understand, and I highly recommend that you review these as well. Okay, the next one is the actual URL that leads them to this page. So if you put that URL in a separate tab, that's what you see, and it's the same thing as they see when they click on this. Rotator top frame height. This is the height of your rotator. The default is set at 60. If you want your rotator to be a little higher, you can change that. I don't think you'd want it lower, but remember, the higher that it gets, the more rotator will show and less of their actual page or their tracker will show. Daily stats days. This is set up is the number of days to keep stats for the daily stats graph, and it's currently set up for 6 months, which is 182 days. You can raise it or lower it, whatever you'd like. The number of days to keep the source stats shown when clicking on a day in the daily stats is set at 30 days default. So you can change any of these settings that you like and click Update Settings. Now when you install the Rotator mod, it automatically pulls all of your member account levels. So if you have more than 2, like what is shown here, they're going to be all along this whole space here, and they'll be in boxes just like these are. This enables you to determine if you know how many trackers do you want your free members to have and on up. So you can give your free members less, your upgraded members more. You can give them how many max trackers do you want them to have, how many rotators do you want them to have, do you want to approve them yourself, or do you want the site checker to just approve them and not have to check them manually? If you want to check them manually, then you need to check this box. Can remove rotator frame. This means that if you have this box checked, the member will have a box on their page that will allow them to make the choice of whether they want to use your rotator frame or not. If they choose not to use your rotator frame, then their sites will just run through without the frame at the top. Enable conversion tracking. This is checked by default. I don't see any reason why you would really want to shut this off, because obviously if the member wants to use a tracker, they really want to see their sales and signups. Source ranks. Enable source ranks. This means that when a member has their tracker, their rotator running at another site, when the site is in rotation, a source ranks box will pop up, and the member viewing that page will be able to rate that site and give a comment. Max daily source ranks, how many do you want to allow? The default is set at 50. You can change that. So you'll need to set these settings for each of your upgraded levels, each of your member account levels, and click Save for each. The cron job, there's a cron job for this one, and it is right here. You'll need to put this in your cron area in your cPanel, and you need to run it shortly after midnight server time. I would recommend running it, after your other midnight cron jobs have run, so 12:05 or 12:10, something like that. And once it runs through one server flip, this should be green and show that it should say that it's working. This is a test site that I'm using, so obviously we don't have the cron set up, so it's showing not working. But if you see this after one of your server flips, then you need to come back here, check, and make sure that your cron is set up right. Okay. The next area is tracker sites, and I did put in a couple of test sites in just to show you that it looks the same as like your site approvals. So you can see that it goes by ID, member ID, the URL, and their status. So you can search by tracker name, rotator name, member ID, member username or email, and URL. If you were manually approving them, you click on pending approvals, and those would be here, and you can enable, disable, suspend, and whatever you like to do there as well. Okay, source ranks. Since many of the people who rate your member sites through source ranks may not be members of your site, source ranks uses a separate ban list. So when you ban an IP address through source ranks, that person will not see any source ranks boxes from trackers at your site. So if one of your members have reported a rating they received as abuse, it's going to be shown below, and you'll be able to either ban that IP address or ignore the abuse report. So it'll have the ID here, it'll have the IP address, and there'll be information over here as to whether you want to ignore or ban that IP. Download prizes. The download prizes are the rewards that people are going to be able to download in return for rating one of your members' source ranks trackers. So each person will get the first listed prize the first time they rate a source ranks box from your site, and then they're going to get the next prize on the list when they rate another site. Once somebody has downloaded all of your prizes, they will no longer see source ranks boxes from your site. It's recommended that you start by adding 5 to 10 download prizes and then keep uploading new ones over time. You can find a lot of potential prizes from PLR sites, and there are also some provided on the Source Ranks Prizes page in your account at thetrafficexchangescript.com where you downloaded your rotator. You can see that there is a default one in here already. It's all set up to go. And once you have a bunch of these in here, you can move them up or down, and that will be the what do I want to say? That'll be the, like this one you want to be first, and then another one second, or maybe you put one in after and you think, oh, I want them to get that one first. You move them up or down. To add a new prize, you just call it something. So like he called this one Image Pack, and his prize description was this. And then you pick the prize file. So you wanna choose the file from your desktop, and the image file is this one. And then you click Add a Prize, and it's all there for you. This automatically shows up. So you choose your files right from your own desktop. You don't have to upload them somewhere else into your cPanel or anything else. You do it all right from here. So that's all there is for the Rotator mod. Hope you enjoy. Have a great day.